All right, this is another beta test of Serpens 3.0, and we're recording on March 26, 2022. Go ahead and join the voice channel. And let me share my screen for Discord here. Cool. All right, I'm starting with a fresh copy. I'm on Blender 3.1.0 and have no Serpens installed previously. If you do, when you're beta testing or playing with add-ons, make sure you uninstall the old version before you install the new. Close Blender out and start it back up fresh before you install. And this is the latest preview that was released today. So today's testing, I want to go through quite a few of the nodes with simple setups. And I'm going to just make sure things don't break. And maybe try playing with a few new things I haven't played with before. Install was error-free this time, that's good. And let's keep the error file for debugging. And we'll open up my console. And let's clear that out. Cool. Okay, let's play around a little bit. Let's do the tutorial. Good. And the end panel. Verify that all these work. I guess while we're going through the tutorial, let's verify we can bookmark. I think the bookmarks are gone. So we'll report about that, I think. Unless it's just not available yet. That might be a thing. All right, let's report that. Yeah, this tutorial's a little bit out of date. That's okay. This is from the previous. Okay, cool. Josh just said they haven't touched the tutorial yet, so we'll stop that. But it does work. At least pushing the button works. All right, on to the next item. Let's play with some interface nodes. Slide this down a little bit. Shift this over. Suzanne can accompany us during this journey here. Okay, so we have in the interface, start at the very top, add to menu. Okay, I can add here. And we'll add in a label. And there it is. I shift over to other places. Yes, I can. Okay. Throw in an icon. I need to turn on my Python tooltips. So this is an add to menu. So can I add it to here? Sure can. Look at that. Okay. About that one. Good. Let's go to cool. All right, this one seems to work pretty good. Let's add a couple of items and see. Trying to add to panel now. So delete this. And deleting hasn't caused any errors yet. That's good. Media material surface. Let's change that. Add it to here. Okay. Add to our view page. Okay. Ooh, adding here seems to mess up the the other icons. What happens when I remove the label? Okay, so label only seems to be fine. And can I make a button? Let's just copy some operator, or let's actually do a I don't want to do that. Is that a property? We'll just see what happens. Run a button there. Okay. And we will add in a cube operator. Get Serpens operator and paste. Cool. Seems to work okay. Let's re-navigate to somewhere else, and it removes it. Good. Clear our console back out. Tried the button. Let's do display collection list. let's do objects. All objects. These are no longer squares. Take a picture of that. Normally I would expect to see these as squares. Add in a display property. I forgot to use display collection list. I'll have to retrain myself. Alright, I figured how to use index or display collection lists, so I'll move on to the ones that I do know how to use. Display icon. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I think there's an icon node under tools. Search. Display icon. That's the one I have. Go to path and navigate to my here we go. So it does come in, but that's not the quality of the image. I wonder if that's a Blender limitation. Display icon. It's probably just me using it not as an icon. That probably makes sense. It does seem to work with no error. Go to image and open an image. Try opening the image.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Artifrias?
I'm doing good. What about you?
Just beta testing some more, trying to get things to break.
What a lucky guy. I want a beta test too. But actually I'm almost done with my add-on. I can't believe I fully scripted it.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So annoying. I was Serpens spoiled me. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure. Serpent swells me too.
Yeah, what the fuck, registering and unregistering and blah blah blah. The pain. Yeah, I'm almost done. I just need to implement a few more things. But I'm still very excited for Serpens. Like, I'll make simple add-ons using this now.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's good for blocking out ideas.
Button. Yeah. If you have a simple script and you just want to put a button and it's a very simple add-on, just use Serpens. But for mine had like too many factors, variables. I don't know. It was just complicated.
Doesn't look terrible. Cool.
What are you doing now?
I'm testing each of the nodes to see if they break. I'm starting with display nodes.
Okay. Oh, there's actually a job for people who try to break software.
Yep, there is.
What it's called.
Beta testers I think is part of it.
No. There's like another name. Like beta testing is a part of it. I forgot. Some name, but I don't know. Man, making videos is so hard. How do you guys do it? My throat hurts after like 30 minutes.
You get used to it. You drink lots of water. I keep a water bottle by me at all times.
I have tea next to me. I'm making a video for my add-on and I'm having such a hard time explaining them because they're so complicated.
Yeah, typically with I'm needing to explain stuff, I'll like write out a script of the things I need to cover, and then sometimes I do 2 or 3 recordings. And then you have to edit the video after.
I'm not editing shit, dude. I'm just putting that on. I mean, I'm not trying to build up my YouTube channel. It's just like a way of putting it out there, you know? So if someone asks, just go there and it'll be there, basically. Because, typing out the functionality of each node and inputs is even bigger pain.
Oh, look at that.
What happened?
I think that's the material preview. Only materials, textures, lights, worlds, and line styles can be displayed. So if I give this guy material, does that work? Index it by name. Yeah, it sure does. Look at that.
Looks so sick.
That'll be helpful for complex materials.
Yeah. It'd be really hard to show it in Python, right?
I wonder if it will let me, I'm gonna go crazy. Let's add a layer.
You know what would be cool though? If we could input in our own, like input in an add-on to Serpens, and then add stuff to it.
Explain.
This is weird, and I think it's gonna take a lot of work, so I'm not gonna ask for it. But imagine you have an add-on, or somebody else's add-on maybe, and you wanna add some more functionality to it. You could enter in that script into Serpens, just a Python script, and sort of like after that script, you can add stuff to it. Because I know that Serpens allows you to modify existing add-ons, but like it's two separate things, It's the original add-on and then you have the Serpens add-on. But with this, you can have a single zip that includes the original add-on and the Serpens add-on that adds stuff to it.
Packages kind of do that. You can install packages and they add nodes to Serpens.
Oh, I didn't know that. What about where are snippets, by the way? I've seen that, but I don't know what that is.
Does he have? Let me see if he has snippets done. So he doesn't have snippets yet solved. A snippet takes a function. So let me go back and finish painting. Let's see if this material updates. My material. And paste it here. Yeah, it sure does. Look at that. There's the painting. Oh, that's so cool. That's gonna be.
Oh my god.
That's gonna be sick for people who like to do material add-ons.
Yeah, you can laugh at the ones who scripted the whole thing.
You can put it on. So it just needs to be dragged to be updated, though. Let's be doing rendering in the background. Material not found. Yeah, that's fine. Yep. Background rendering is happening.
Oh, so it renders and then updates it, or?
Yeah, it's basically saving an image and then posting it here. I'm pretty sure those are all background processes. But it's working. I'm not having any crashes yet. I guess I better save my file before I proceed.
That's sick.
Let's save. It does take a while for it to render, but that's okay. It seems to work. Okay, so a snippet would be, let's see. So you have some sort of function. I'm just going to add a couple of print nodes. So let's say you have a whole bunch of nodes that you're doing things in. And you want to be able to reuse that in another blend file, or you want to use it in add-on development from then on. This is kind of along the idea of what you just said. So you'd have a function, but rather than having to recreate that function over and over again, what you can do is on the Serpens end panel, there is a settings. He doesn't have it in here yet.
And my RTC disconnected. Did you say something important?
Well, I just said that for snippets, you basically have a function in one of your node graphs that you're building an add-on for. And let's say you really like what that function does and you want to reuse that in other projects. You can make that into a snippet. So you would take the function and then on I think it's on the run function node. In the old Serpens at least.
So it's basically a way of storing functions.
Yeah, it's a way of storing functions, and I think it stores it in JavaScript, if I remember. And then you can basically make it into a snippet, and then anytime you develop in another add-on, you can get that snippet, and it would pull that function in as a single node. So
so it's
it
like
works.
a node group kind of.
Yeah, it's like an importable node group. They're still working on it for the beta, so there's nothing to test yet. Looks like you can install them, but I don't see anything to make one happen yet. They have
actual.
Oh, go ahead.
Will we have actual node groups though?
A snippet is like a node group, basically. Functions are technically a node group. So you put everything into a function and then you call the function.
It's like it's like animation nodes, similar.
Yeah, it's the Serpens version of a shader node group would be a function, or an interface function. So I could throw all of these onto an interface function, which I need to test anyways. So this is a good time to test it. Then I would just run that interface function. Then I could call that on something else, like instead of an add to panel, I could maybe make a menu. Let's see, not a menu. Let's do a different panel. Or let's do it over here. Yeah, we'll do it on the render. So I should see that exact same panel load here because it's being called from one function. And so you could turn this into a snippet and then use it in another graph if you wanted to. And you call it as many times as you want. So it's basically asking for a node group to give you stuff.
But don't functions work across different graphs, or do they?
Yeah. So you can run the same function on a different graph. I could go to my node tree graph that I have here.
But it's only useful for different blend files, right? Because yeah, it's supposed to be for different blend files.
A snippet can be useful for I mean, yeah, technically it's useful across blend files. So you're doing two different add-ons, but you want to use the same function.
Wait, another thing though is are snippets like is it like linked to the blend file? So if I like change the snippet, is it gonna change across all the files, or?
No, you load them. You load them into Serpens. So you have to install it. You go find a snippet file, and then you install that package, and it would stay with Blender. As long as Serpens is installed, it saves to the Serpens file structure.
Right, that makes sense. Okay. That's cool.
Let's check to see if this works across graphs. That's a good test. We'll just do an add to menu. Window. Let's see what happens.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go for a while. Maybe I'll join back. I'm not sure. Take care, Blanche.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Hopefully you're gonna break some stuff today.
Yeah, hopefully.
Make Joshua work even more.
So far things are working okay. It's just me learning how to do Serpens all over again.
Yeah,
that's the fun part.
I'm gonna have to do that as well. Anyways, bye, man. Take care.
Okay, see ya.
Yep.
All right. So that works. We've got our interface functions work. Let me use an operator now. Let's call a function via button. Delete those, delete this. Actually, you know what? Generate errors by doing undo. Yeah, undo doesn't always work well. But does it still work? It seems to work okay. Alright, let's throw a button on here. Add an operator, and we'll tie the operator to this function. So function run. Select my node tree and then my function. So if I update my function name, okay, it updates here. There is no return. I want this to be a custom Blender button. And does it print on the Serpens menu? Okay, definitely prints to the console. No printing on the end panel like it used to be. I'll have to ask Joshua about that. I am printing out to the console though. Okay, cool. Oh, it's printing on the node. Interesting. That is cool. And I can clear the message. Oh man, that's sick. Then I can know if it ran. Oh, that's so cool. That's gonna help so much as I'm troubleshooting. Okay, let's do, we've done functions, we've done custom operators. What happens when I change my operator name? Let's test that. Oh, it's updating there. Does it still work? Sure does. Cool. Let's play with function returns. Let's return a... Let's return a letter or a number. Function return. And I want it to return a string. So what happens when I have two functions? Is the name going to change? And can I duplicate these? Okay. Let's go to the node. Ooh, skip export. That's interesting. Let's give this function a name here. So does that give the function the name when I compile the script? Zoom out a little bit. My function 1 and my function 2, it does. Excellent. So as I change that, let's put this workspace up a little bit. Visual scripting. Or node menu and properties. So that's a problem because there's no underscores. All right, I'm gonna take a picture of this. And send that over to Joshua. Because if I push the button, I'm probably going to get an error since that name is unique. Yep, Python script failed. Invalid syntax. It's got spaces. It's easy enough. I'm the idiot who didn't use the underscore for the function name. But I could see that being an issue for the community with artists who don't know that you need underscores. Now it works. I'll bet I can clear my console and push the button. Oh no! Print stuff is not defined. That was kind of funny. Let's go back to here. That didn't change yet, unless I have a different error script. No, I don't. My function 2. Let's change it over to that one. Bet we got an error. No, didn't get an error. Why is that? And link this. Let's try building it again. It probably won't update until I do something in the graph. Let's try running 2 functions at once. See if that built it. That's good. I have an error because I'm not the same function. But it's not. All right, so Joshua's input is if you're going to use the properties to give it a fixed name, then you want to make sure that you understand that functions need to have underscores. That's just something you're going to need to know as a coder, because you won't be able to do that in Python anyways. When you run a script and you make your own functions, you're going to have to use underscores when you define them. So this is a function execute. This is function execute 001. I renamed it to print stuff, so I'm going to rename this one to return only. Take a picture of that. Post that over for feedback. Oh no, the upload failed. Try that again. When I change this, oh cool, yeah, that updates. That's excellent. Okay, so let's actually return. We have outputs we want to return. So returned and return to. So print and let's push our button. That work? We do have outputs coming in. Okay, output 2 is coming through. That's kind of cool. We got multiple properties on these nodes. It's writing to them. Oh, that's neat. Okay. This stuff should do nothing. I'm not printing anything. Why am I not printing anything? Wonder if it's because I unlinked the file script. Maybe that was me. I don't need EasyBPy anymore. I don't need this anymore. Go back to edit prefs. Can I force a compile? Will that work? Okay, I'm gonna save and reopen. Bear with me 1 second here while I get it loaded back up. Okay, Serpens is still installed. File, open recent. Probably still rendering that. The image is blank because I didn't save my image. That's okay. So does stuff print? Okay. Get my function return. Let's just verify that this works. Delete all this. One function. Select my graph. Stuff. Okay, so that's working. Should print again. Yep. Let's try returning. Oh, function return has its own name. Oh. Alright, so I can name the function return separately and they show up, and I want to return... See if I can return the entire string. Let's do a combined string. It's going to be under... Input, maybe? No. Converter. Oh, text. Here we go. Combine strings. And we'll just do one string each. Copy and paste. And we'll use the knife tool to cut these. And output this. We can actually, ooh, here's a good idea. Let's input this as the string for the print node. That's two things at once here. I want to change this data to string. Output to there. All right. Let's try this. I'll click and all right, let's push print. Okay, so I'll get the hello, how are you? But I'm not getting a return. Change that back to data. And try again. Hmm. Interesting. We're basically setting the data type with that node. That's kind of cool. We're not calling this one though. So can I just print this as a return? Return might be broken. Yeah, those got through. This did not. It was getting generated in our keep error file is no longer working. I'm gonna start with a new blend file because I got rid of that. Did I generate an error file then? No, I didn't. Start over. I'll save. Unlink that, save my startup file. Add in a button. A function and another button or a operator. Add a new material to this guy. Let's try doing that. So for the operator, I'm going to call this function. And let's do custom. So pop-up, let's test the pop-ups. So we want a confirm pop-up. So before the pop-up, let's add in a message. Good. Going to the wrong one works. I like to do my functions with fn first. Then add material.
Hey.
Hey Joshua, what's going on, man?
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. I got a question for you already.
Go ahead.
How do I get the error script?
I think in the preferences you have to turn that on.
So I have keep error file, and I'll tell you what I did, and maybe it's something that I did. I went in here and I unlinked it, and now I can't get it back. It's supposed to just build when I compile, right?
Yeah, I think it should just show up again if you, even if you unlink it.
Yeah. So as soon as
But it will only show the error script if there's an error in the compiled code. So not like if there's a syntax error or something in the actual code.
Oh, so until I make an error, it's not going to show up.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a way to see the compiled code before the error? Like if I just want to see what this is doing?
Yeah, in the settings, which you just opened, you can keep code.
Oh, that's what it was. I'm already forgetting from last week. All right, so let's just do a test. Okay, pop-up works. I should see there. Okay, there we go. That's just me being an idiot again. All it takes is a week.
Yeah, I mean we moved that from that option from the preferences to the panel here, so it
I know. I need to
makes
watch my
sense
own.
that it's.
I need to watch my own videos. So I am having a problem with function returns. Let's see if I can regenerate it. So if I just make a string, and we'll just call it, say return on it. By the way, I love that these print on these nodes. This is so cool.
Yeah.
And when
It's
you
better than
compile
having
it,
them all in the end panel.
yeah, when you compile it, clears them. Well, it's like that's super helpful for troubleshooting. Because if I want to see if something got through, I would throw a print node in real quick in my last
Right.
Serpens graphs, and if it printed, I know it at least got to that point. Because Python stops where the error is, right? Typically.
Yeah.
So if I do a function return, and let's do not function. My bad. So if I change this over to a string, right, because I want it to say string,
Mhm.
and then I do function return here, I can just do another print node. Actually, we can just move this one over. And I get the print happening here, but I don't get anything even in my console. Get my console. It should be getting that coming back, right? Saying return.
Yeah. Let me check out the node. Oh yeah, I think we're not running the next node after the run function is done, so it's never actually getting to the print node.
Okay. That's fine. And I think the other test I was going to do 2 functions back to back. That should work though, right?
So you mean like to run functions after each other? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it won't, because it's like the execute output on the run function node is never triggering the whatever the next node is.
Oh, so it just won't trigger anything after itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So then that's why I thought this was broken too, because I had 2 functions back to back and I wasn't getting them to run either. That makes sense.
Yeah, same thing.
Sweet, I found a bug. Excellent.
Nice.
All right. Functions don't execute. I assume you have a note for that. I don't need to add it to the channel.
Yeah, I might be able to just fix it real quick.
Oh, that's fine. You don't need to fix these while I'm testing.
Yeah, but like,
this is just me playing, right?
better to fix them like right away than write it down and fix it later.
Oh, that's true. You do whatever you want. I'll install a new one if you want. Okay, let's see. So I was in the process of doing an add material. See how well I remember my training from last week. Object, I want it on my active object. I think I can just copy that from the shader editor. The get Serpens operator doesn't show up on this one.
Which one was that?
I'm on the shader editor, just on the new material operator. It's just a button on the header, I guess you'd say.
It might be because it's like a special kind of layout thing, like this
Oh,
material
it is. It's built
picker with the.
Yeah, it's built in.
Yeah,
this.
it's like a whole thing.
This is I forget what this is called, like a search preview or something.
Yeah, like a template. I don't know, something like that. Yeah.
I should be able to paste that into an operator though, right? The Python command still.
Oh yeah, still works.
Yep, that still works. Okay. I want to run. Let's see. I actually want to run that function. The shader editor. Seems to be working. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I fixed the run function out. So
Okay, cool. I'll download it. Delete my old download.
it should also, yeah, it should also fix your the round socket thing.
Oh, okay. That was unintentional.
Yeah, I like updated something else and it just broke that, and I didn't notice. So
Okay.
Yeah, good catch.
Sweet. Okay, I'm gonna reopen Blender. Oh, I forgot to uninstall. It's alright. Just give it a second to load and then I'll uninstall. How's school going? You got lots of homework today?
Yeah, bit of work is like to catch up on. So yeah, just all over the place.
Oh, that sucks. I mean, I guess it's good. Keep your mind fresh. All right, let's close this out. Put it back up. So while I have you, for the limited time that I have you, I do want to test out the once I verify these are not broken anymore. I want to play with the dynamic enum testing the way that you described it. That might sound confusing. Using a function and returning a list variable. So you may have to walk me through that. Just
sure.
Let me verify that this new Serpens install bug is solved on my end. I'm positive it is. And then let's open up my file that I abandoned. And this is really cool, by the way.
Oh, the previews.
Yeah. So are you rendering on a separate instance of Blender to get those previews?
No, it's just like a Blender thing. Like it's the same thing that shows up in the material properties.
Yeah.
So it's also like one of those template things where you can just like there's certain types of data which you can preview.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're like really slow.
Yeah.
Just why the warnings on that note.
I gotcha.
So yeah.
Yeah, it was really slow, but I really liked it at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can delete that. I don't need that anymore. So I do have this print stuff node, and I've got I was playing all around. I was just basically making a bunch of strings and then returning something. But I didn't know what the bug was, so I was trying to get down to what is the bug. I do like that you have this notification. I didn't know that you could name these here. I just learned that just a few minutes ago.
Right.
I should be able to return both of these in print. Guy here and this guy here. Ooh, I got it.
Nice.
Is it returning a list?
It looks like it. I don't. Maybe that's. Huh. No, actually, I have no idea why.
I guess I better return a couple of things. Just to play. I do like this. This is your auto conversion.
Yeah, because we have to set the data type of like some data socket to a data type. So we just add the node if you don't set it on the return node.
Yep, I think that's fine. I did notice, I think if I manually change it here to string, it shouldn't be a problem that it's still going through, right?
Yeah, you can just no, it doesn't do anything then. You
Okay.
can just delete the node and
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure it didn't actually, I mean, I guess I can test it. Okay, that seems to be returning. Oh, that's funny. Now it's parentheses.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's with one output with multiple outputs. Would actually. Oh, is it still doing the same thing for you?
Well, this one's got square brackets and this one's got parentheses. Because I'm returning two things on this one. And this one's only returning one thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I have to look into that. Not sure why.
I don't know if that's a problem yet. I just noticed it.
Yeah, it is. It should
just do that, right?
The one. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
hello, guys. Do you hear me?
Yep. Hey, welcome.
Well, can I be here or not?
Yeah, this is just me beta testing. I'm just streaming, trying to break things that Joshua's coded for Serpens V3.
Great.
I am recording on YouTube though, so as long as you're okay with being on my recording.
That's good.
Okay, so I guess.
Thank you for your really great add-on.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. I mean, I guess you should be thinking. Yeah, Joshua says you're welcome.
Sure. Yeah, you're welcome. There you go.
Okay, let's I guess let's test this listing. See if I can break it. So we'll just minimize down to one function for now. All right, so if I'm reading your thing, I want to add a list variable in my function. Is that right?
Sorry, wait 1 second.
Oh, you're fine. If you're busy,
Okay,
I can wait for you.
No, I was just looking at the code for the run function to try to figure out where is this breaking, but yeah. So you won't need an operator or anything. You're just basically just working with interface code, and then at some point you need a function, but it should be telling you when to. You should notice when you will need a function.
Okay. All right. This is I'll clear my interface down a little bit more then. So I don't need a button yet, or.
No, you don't. Pretty much don't need a button at all. I mean, I guess you can use it at some point, but we'll just start with just an enum property, just display that and see how that works.
Okay, so I'm gonna add in a property node, change it from string to enum, and then since it's tied to the scene, oh, is this still a bug, or was this supposed to fill out with basic scene info?
No, you just have to plug in the property.
Oh, that's right. I have to get the property. That's right. This guy. Yep. Oh, look at that. Scene using active. Cool.
Yeah, that's fixed now. Right, so you don't have any items in your enum, so you could add them manually on the right there, just like before.
Okay.
And like when you add them, they should just show up in there.
Yep.
Or you can turn on, dynamic items above. And then again, there's no items in here, but there's a new button down below the option called generate items, which you can click in the properties panel where you
Oh, generate
wait,
items.
check.
Okay.
Yeah, and that adds a node for generating the enums. And it doesn't fill out the property automatically yet.
So I
write
need to
that
do my
down
new property. Yeah. So we would want it to autofill from there.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it auto update?
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh, it does. Look at that. Even over here. Okay, so now I have a list. And this is probably where I need to fill out a function to give it items.
Yeah, you'll need that later, but there's you see the new enum item button on the node. So if you click that, that will add a node for making an enum item, and you can take that item and plug it into the item's input. And when you do that, you see a warning telling you to use a list node if you want multiple items. So you can, like this way, you can plug in one enum item, but that's kind of useless. So yeah, just using a list node, you can combine multiple items in this input here. Just
so I would
drop
do
that in between.
Oh, that would go right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I can do another one like that.
Yep. And you can just keep adding items here, and it should show up in the dropdown.
We'll just give them simple names, I guess. Oh, and you can put icons with them.
So now you could change the name, change the description, change the icon dynamically. But this way you're still limited to the basically to the amount of items in your list. I mean, you could plug in a list variable here and change the variable somewhere else. So yeah, that would work. But alternatively, you can just plug in a function return where you return a list, and then inside the function, you can just fill out this list variable and basically like do what you're doing here with adding items to a list, just with a variable. Do that inside the function. The function returns that list, and then you can dynamically update the enum based on whatever you want, basically. So you could have one enum item for every object in the scene, or you could have even like a collection property, which I don't know, like one useful thing might be like for assets, where you have a collection property where you can add items for different asset folders, and then it can load these asset folders and check what files are in them, and then for every file it can add one item to the enum property. So you could do that inside a function, for example.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try that idea if you have a minute. Can we do it for every object in the scene?
Sure.
Just what's a simple use case test for me to be able to play with? Maybe list each item in the scene, and then this thing has an update, right? On property update.
Yeah, sure.
So I guess on update we would just select that item.
Yep.
So set as active object, I guess. So let's see. I think I like this part. I should be able to figure out how to do, but the listing each item in the scene. Let's go ahead and do that for the function. So inside the function, I would need to make a list.
Right. So you would create a list variable, and like a normal variable in the end panel, so you can
okay
actually like modify that multiple times.
So items list. And then I would use a set variable, is that right?
Yeah, so first we want to set it to an empty list, basically. So I think there's a reset node as well.
Can you do it like this to set it empty?
Yeah, you have to plug in a list node in there to actually set it to an empty list. Otherwise, you're like this way, you're setting it to none, which then it's not a list variable anymore. But
like this.
Yeah, this works. Or there's a node for resetting as well. Yeah.
Okay. So I can totally do this. I just reset it via the reset variable. Let's test that. And then once the list is cleared, then I would do it'd be a for loop, wouldn't it, for all the objects in the
Sure.
scene?
Yep.
And that's gonna be under program loop for execute. And then I would just do off of that blend data. Oh man, where's my objects at? And then I would want all objects in the scene. And then let's see. Set variable? Or no, I would want an add to list, wouldn't I?
Yep.
And I need to change my variable type.
So probably
I
on
made
the
I made
set variable. Yeah, if you can you just for testing purposes, can you just add a set variable node again? So keep it at list, but with the add node button, just add a set variable.
Yeah, add node and set variable.
Right. So now it has a list input. So now you wouldn't need a list node to reset it.
Oh, that's right,
You could
because
also
I
just use
had
this.
it as data before.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
This is me not this is me not doing the required steps beforehand. Okay, so repeat, and we're going to append in an item, and the item would be I can leave this as data, or should I set it to property?
I mean, you should change it to property. Otherwise, it's going to add a defined data type node again. Because
that's right.
You're not getting that type. Okay, yeah. So, but you want to add so this list is your list of enum items.
Oh, wait.
So before we just plugged in the list node into the node for generating the enum items. But now we want to use the variable, so we want to add items for each object. So the item output on the for loop here is the object. So now you can take and make enum item node and add that as an item to the list, and then, for example, use the name of the object as the name of the enum item. Yeah.
So I would use this enum item here button.
Yep.
To create this. And am I using the add to list or am I not?
Yeah, you are. You're just plugging the item output from the make enum item node into the item input of the add to list. So instead of the item output on the for loop, they're all called item. That's not helpful here. Exactly, yeah. So now you adding one item for every object. So if
that's right. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I understand that.
Yep.
So I would.
Yeah, so if
and then I'm giving it. I could use the name.
Exactly.
Off of the item, right? So it would be is that a get? Oh,
still just one node. You can copy it from the properties panel on the right. Just right click on the name there, get property.
Oh, right.
Okay,
yeah.
The panel there. Yep.
Yeah, Serpens property. And then Shift V, name.
Mm-hmm.
And I should be able to feed it. See, I want to feed it the value for the name. I still have to feed it information, right? Because this is for the Suzanne object, but I want to fill it.
Right, for any object, so you change the output and plug in the current object in the loop.
That makes sense. I had to set this to property, and then I plug this in here, right?
Yep.
And then that should update this, and I should be able to put this list, and I have to return this list, right?
Yep, that's right. So after the for loop is done, you just return the list, and then you use the run node to get that value.
Let's minimize my screen. So I would do a continue here, and then I'm going to get this variable as the return, right?
Yep. And change the output type to list.
All right, and then would basically just use the run function, if I understand this correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't need the execute anymore, right? It's just...
Yep, that's exactly right. And it should work. There you go.
Sweet. And I've got these labeled here, I think. 1 lights, 2 and 3. Now when I select them, I want to be able to activate them. Turn this on just to make it easier. That would be on the update for this node, right? So when I execute, I need the... This is going to be in the scene context, isn't it? The active view layer.
So you want to set the active object, or you want to
Yep.
select the object?
Yeah, I want to set the active
Yeah,
object.
it's just on the object node. There's the output for the active object, and you can plug that into the set property node, and then put in the updated property here. So set property node. The property you want to set is the active object, and so in property, and the value you want to set it to is property again, and that's the updated property. And just plug that into value, and that should be it.
What is the attached item again?
So your enum property is attached to the scene, and this attached to item would then be the scene that it got triggered on. So in this case, the active scene.
Okay. I think that makes sense. All right, so if I click on Suzanne, that property. Let me, I guess I have to select her too, huh? If I wanted to, let me just change it to another thing. Relight. Should have activated it, right?
Yeah. Maybe you can add a print node in between just to see if it's...
Sure.
Ah, never mind. I know why. Alright, so because the enum is just like basically it's a couple of strings, like it's a list of strings. And now you're setting the active object to the name of the object, but not actually to that object.
Oh, I could do it.
That makes sense.
I could do it to... Oh, because this is an enum item, it's just a name.
Right.
Yeah,
enums
enums are
just a string.
Enums are just strings. So in order to do that, I need to do a named property. Is that right?
Yeah, you need another... you can use the same node or use another one. Doesn't really matter. And then just plug in the value here, or the property, but the value would probably make more sense. Into...
Right there, right?
Yep, into the value. Yep.
Okay, so I should be able to see... I should be able to see it print here too. Okay, so yes. Suzanne got selected. And Aerial Light got activated.
Yeah, so it might make a little bit more sense to use the value output on property update node. But I think we talked about it before. It's basically the same data path. It's just a different output type. So it might be a problem with like conversion and stuff. In this case, it's fine.
In this case, it's fine. Yeah, I should probably really do it like this, right?
Yeah, just get used to it, I guess.
I guess now for enums this makes sense, but for updated property, since we don't have, I mean, if I add another property in here, like these are my, oh, we do have a pointer. So pointer would be one that when it updates, you would pull it from possibly that.
You can, I don't know if pointers have an update function. I don't think so. Or maybe maybe it was, no, collections. I think collections, like adding items to collections, don't have an update function, but maybe pointers do. There should be a warning if they don't.
It has
on the
at
node,
least has a node that allows it.
Yeah, okay. Then it should work.
Yeah. At what point would I use updated property then?
Yeah, I mean, on the pointer, it would probably make the most sense because you can point to a group property. Actually, maybe it wouldn't. Yeah, so you probably won't in too many cases.
Okay. Just get used to using value.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess you actually you probably don't really need it. Maybe there's some case I'm not thinking of, but
Because it's
yeah.
literally just pointing back to itself, isn't it? Like, this is my blend data.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the same thing as the value, just like as a property. And I mean, you can't really display anything inside the onProperty update function, so it's yeah, basically pretty much useless.
Okay. I like it. I think this is sweet. So it's selecting here, but in order to actually show it on the viewport, I would have to use the select set function. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think we did this last time, so I probably don't need to review that again.
I don't know if it worked last time because it's or maybe it did because we didn't use yeah, like any type of object. We just did it by name.
Let's do it up.
But yeah, there was a bug with it.
Oh, well, let's try it again. Do you remember what? I don't remember what we did.
Yeah, not sure.
So okay, let's say I wanted to do that just for my own remembering.
Yep.
So I want to select the object that's active, and it's indexed off of here. So I could use this. So I would use a run blend data function. Isn't that right?
Run property function, but yeah.
Yeah, run property function. And then I have to go to the blend data browser to get that.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be on active. Is it active object that would have it?
It would, yeah. Like if you want to select the active object, you could go over here. If you want to select any object, then you go over data.
Okay, so this is the select set function I should be able to grab here then, right?
Yep.
And I don't necessarily, for this one, I don't think I need the view layer, right?
No, you don't. It's
Some of
the
them,
active one. If
yeah, some of them do require stuff, I think, if they're not programmed on.
yeah, we're not enabling the required inputs yet. We should do that still.
Is that's a to-do item you guys want to tackle? As if it's required to activate it?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Would be helpful to know.
And when you say activate, it would just turn the eye icon on, right?
Right, it would, like in this case, select set needs the state.
So that should have been on
enabled.
by default, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
But the view layer should be optional.
So if I wanted to do it, the select set should be on objects as well, right? So there's the standard objects. There should be a...
Yeah, that's the active object as well. So there's two ways to access the active object. I don't know why they have two properties for this, but yeah, if you go to data instead of context on the left, yeah, then you can go to objects and then go to some object here. You can search on the left.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
So this one would have a select set just for this specific object, right?
Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting I can filter, dude.
That's yeah.
Filter, let's filter by function. So much easier. Okay. And then select set. I should be able to, is Shift Z does it? Yep. But I would have to define, I could define the object here as well, right?
So you can keep it a string because you get the string. You also can set it to objects.
Oh, I could use, okay, I could use it under.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I could pull this guy in, right?
Yep.
Let's try it this way, just for fun. This is what broke last time, is it didn't work?
Yeah, I think I don't know if it broke in the stream, but someone reported it earlier. So yeah.
This one works.
Nice. There you go. And I mean, this, like, you wouldn't actually use a dropdown for this probably, because you can use a pointer to an object.
Oh, sure. Yeah, this is
but-
just testing the dynamic enum.
Right. Yeah, sure.
I'm not saying I'm making
Yeah,
things that
that's-
are useful. I'm just testing.
Yeah, I mean, there's other types of data which you can't use pointers for, so you could still use enums for those.
For sure.
Um,
This would be very
yeah.
useful for those scenarios.
Right. And now, actually, if you in your function, if you just select like any icon in there, just in the make enum item node.
Which one am I? Oh, this one right here.
Yep.
If I choose an
select
icon
them.
here,
Right.
let's do Suzanne. Is Suzanne part of the icon? Oh man. How about-
It's called monkey.
Why do they gotta change the name everywhere?
Well, I know the name of this because it's my placeholder icon for when I'm looking up the actual name for what I want to use.
Oh, cool. You know the icon names better than I do.
Yeah, a couple of them at least. Alright, yeah, so now you see the icons in the drop-down, but now you can also use the... I forgot what name we ended up with like display something. I think it's display icon gallery or something, the name of the node.
Oh yeah, I actually added that and had no idea how to use it, so I just deleted it.
Right,
Icon gallery, here we go.
there you go.
So I could throw this guy into here.
Yep. And that shows you the actual icons, and you can show labels on the node, and it should show you the object names below. Yep. So I mean, now all the objects have that icon, but you could like load images in here or something like for this icon. So you could use the icon node to actually load an icon from a path, or use an image that's already in the file. Yeah, so that should all work now.
Yep, and I've got, let's see here. I did a Serpens icon. Cool.
Yep. So this way it's still the same icon for all items, but you could like load a different one depending on what object it is. So yeah, like even if you're displaying textures here or something, then it makes more sense. But for like assets or something, if you have an asset folder and you have an object that you're importing and you have a thumbnail for that object, then you can use that here.
So if I would have to do a little bit more work on the make enum part in order to assign that icon, right? Because right now I'm just looping through and giving them all this one.
Yeah, so you would have to use like, depending on how you're storing these. So
Sure.
yeah, it just depends on the use case. But
Sure.
in theory, like you have this path input here now, so you can plug in any path to any image, and it should load it automatically.
Yeah, that makes sense. And okay, so this is the icon gallery. It's another way of using enums, right? So I've got this method here, and I could expand this out.
You have to enter a label for the text to show up. Just anything, it won't show up, but
Yeah.
Yeah, if you put it in a column at least.
There we go. Okay. And then I can do this instead of in, you can add a column node, isn't that right? And there you go.
Yep, and that will update the one below as well. So it's just, yeah, as you said, a different way to display it.
Cool. Yeah, I was wondering about icon gallery, like how I would make use of that. So this is at least a good primer into icon gallery.
Yep.
Sweet. All right, what else did I want to ask about? Display search. What's display search used for?
So this is what I what I was saying with the object pointer. So because you could just use a pointer property, if you just take your if you just take your pointer property that you have right now, or the objects, not sure. Just plug that in there, and then change your pointer property that you created to the data type at the bottom. So to not point to scenes, but to point to objects. Then you can plug that in here.
Right there.
Yep. And then this will let you pick an object.
Oh man, that's so cool. Oh, so is this is different than I'm gonna get even more tricky here. My graph is looking terribly ugly, but that's okay. So I want to add in a display property. And if I did this instead.
Yeah, it doesn't have the picker on it.
Doesn't have the picker. Okay, so that's the difference.
Yeah, and the other difference is that you can use string properties with these with the display search node, because you can't point to some data types. So for that you will have to use string properties, and then basically select it by name. So like nodes, for example, you can't point to. So you for the drop downs that we have on nodes where you select nodes, we are basically using something like the display search, the Python version of the display search node with a string property, and then we're using that string to get the actual node.
Oh, interesting. So I can change this to node tree then, and then I can
change
you can instead of objects here, I would use node groups.
Yep.
So this doesn't have an eyedrop, right? So I'd have to be able to just pick it from this list.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess you could eyedrop like the actual window or something where it's selected, but there's no. Oh yeah, there's just no eyedrop on there. Just some data types have it, some don't.
Some do and some don't. Okay. Cool. I have yet to crash Blender yet using Serpens 3.0 beta. So that's good. This is like 3 beta tests in a row now that I haven't broken. I mean, I haven't done anything terribly stupid either. But so far, your code seems to be holding up.
What's the compile time at with this setup right now? You go in the header to the all the way to the right.
This one, right?
We can
go up here too. Yeah, 4.9 milliseconds. Right. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Let's what if I had like 5 if statements in a row? Think I can slow that down?
It really shouldn't. It should stay pretty much exactly the same. Like it will, like it at 5 milliseconds, it will fluctuate between like 2 and maybe 8 or something, but it really shouldn't go above that. If you add like 100 panel nodes, then it will start to, like you will see the number go up.
That's a Blender limitation, right? That shouldn't be a Serpens. I know that when I'm on a shader graph, like my graph slows down just because I have nodes on it.
Oh yeah, the viewport will slow down as well, definitely. But you could use multiple node trees for that. But just the compile time will become slower if you add a lot of trigger nodes. So stuff like panels, operators, functions will make the compile time go up.
Sure.
Just because Blender is taking, actually functions shouldn't. Functions should stay pretty much the same. But yeah, operators, panels, menus, pie menus, all that stuff will slow it down a little bit. So yeah, I did like a test with like 200 panel nodes, and at that point it's like 20-30 milliseconds or so, which is still like pretty good. I mean, it's like still at the point where you can basically work in real time with it. yeah, like you don't really notice 30 milliseconds.
Let's see how bad I am at programming. Oh! I'm causing something to happen. Writing to ID classes in this context is not allowed. So on every repeat, I'm supposed to be printing. Should work, right?
Do you have... oh, I know why. Okay, so because the print is actually writing to a property, so we can display it on the node. It's telling you that you can't write to a property in this context because you're technically running this in the UI, because this is generating enum items, and it's yeah, you can't write to a property in the interface because that updates so often.
Oh, okay. Hey, look at that. That's why I
so-
said this is stupid. Don't do this.
So yeah, the print node will break it, and I will have to think about how we fix that. I guess
Well,
at a warning or something, but
I guess. I don't know. I mean, people are going to do stupid things, right? You can't prevent
yeah,
Can't
always.
prevent people from doing stupid things. So then, okay, well, let's just throw this on a function then, on a separate function. This guy, let's move these off.
I mean, if you want to slow it down, like just make a new node tree, save, and then copy a panel a bunch of times, and you will notice it slow down.
Copy this panel a bunch of times.
Sure, yeah. There was a new,
wait,
new variable, not a new node tree.
Yeah, my bad. Oh, so that's another question. So variables. Okay, so those are still only tied to the node tree, right?
Yeah, but you can, on the variable nodes, you can select them across node trees.
Okay, explain that before I...
Yeah, so if you go to the other node tree, and, well, I guess you're on the, no, this one, and then add like a get variable node. Then in the first drop down, you can choose the node tree, so the other one, and then get a variable from that node tree.
Ooh, you can still access it.
Mhm.
That's so smart. I used to do it via script. Like script line
Yeah,
and
I mean,
call out
it's-
the node tree.
Right.
So variables now can be referenced across graphs, but they live in the graph that they're made.
Yep.
Right? But I could technically set the variable too then, right?
Yeah, all the nodes should work.
So set there's set variable. So then I guess what is the
Why do we separate them?
yeah, why do you separate them? That's the way I wanted to say it. You said it better than I would.
Yeah, so basically we want variables to be like we want it to be clear that variables are temporary, because a lot of people are just like asking things like, how do I store this list and like keep it after I close Blender? So we want to make it very obvious that you can't. So yeah, we're trying to basically just keep them in their context, and yeah, if you can avoid it, then keep a variable, or if you can, then keep a variable in one node tree, just because it's really meant as something temporary. It doesn't really break anything if you don't, like, if you do this is perfectly fine. It's intended, that's why we're adding it. But just as a, like, it should be clear that variables are temporary.
Yeah, I think that makes
So
sense.
we might also use the separation for the exported code. So we could technically separate the different node trees into different files, and then keep the variables in one file. And then if we then do stuff like this, where you're using a variable in a different node tree, then we would have to import it. So we would have to dynamically add imports for variables you're using,
Okay.
which, yeah, works, but not yet.
Sure.
So yeah, I think for now we will stay with one file, but maybe at some point we could move to multiple files and then you could also like use that code further on, use the actual exported add-on further on, and yeah, actually have a separation in how you're setting up the nodes here.
Okay. I think that
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. I could see some, I don't know of benefits, but I could see there being benefits to that workflow.
Yeah.
So if I did a whole bunch of, I guess can I paste? Yep, I can paste.
Maybe save before.
Yeah, maybe I should save. Probably a good idea to save. So duplicate, duplicate, duplicate.
Yeah, we're at 10, 12, 15.
Oh, I got a little bit of slowdown. 18.
Yeah, at this point the viewport is slowing down, and I guess maybe the registering is also just causing a little bit of a hang up. Yeah.
Adding a single node. Hey, you're only up to 31 milliseconds though. So is it exponentially? Oh, this is slow. 50. Hey, that's not bad at all.
Right, but like if at this point you should still be able to work with it. Like you're not like this is not a normal thing to like copy 50 panel nodes.
Oh, I agree.
So if you copied those. that's scary.
It works.
Nice. Yeah, so if you go into one panel node now and like check a checkbox on it or something, it's still pretty much instant to work with, or even adding nodes. Like if it's not the Blender slowing down because of the node tree, then it shouldn't be slowing down otherwise. Like 121 milliseconds is still good enough to feel like real time. Yeah, and like this amount of panels is pretty
Look at that.
Excessive.
And one of these somewhere, can I do a default? I should have a label on one of these. There we go, my label. Perfect.
Yeah, so if you like check a checkbox on this now, or even like change the name, I guess, then it will move up. But yeah.
So if I go to
so this is still
order of 1 or order of 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it seems to be still very like I'm at 113 milliseconds. That's a pretty good improvement. I mean, I'm not really doing much with these, but I mean, if I started drawing a lot of stuff on each one of these, I did that preview, render preview for the material on every one of these.
But
I imagine that would probably slow down, right?
It shouldn't really. Yeah, because we're basically caching all the code that is connected to one of these nodes. That stuff is basically instant. Like, of course, having more nodes will just make it a little bit slower because it has to still go through all of them, but not noticeably. Like adding a lot of panel nodes is definitely more intensive than connecting a lot of nodes to a panel.
There we go. So let's duplicate that down now that I've got like an interface function built into it. Still pretty functional.
Yep.
I mean, nobody should ever do this, but
Definitely not. No, I don't know. Yeah, like the goal is to have it at a point where when you're actually working with like real add-ons where you have a couple of trigger nodes, like a couple of panels, couple of operators, then it's still like perfectly fine to work with, and you don't even notice it. Yeah, so it's good that even the stress tests can't really hurt it. If the node tree slows down before the compile time slows down, that's a good thing.
Yeah. I've got one more thing to test. I haven't done the script nodes yet, so I want to do that.
Okay.
We'll do my script node after all these if else's. I'm gonna duplicate.
Yeah, so I don't know if the thing I was I think we tried it also last time, the register and unregister functions.
Yeah,
inside a script. I don't know if that's working yet.
I have a script from another Blender I'm gonna pull in, and I've been troubleshooting it for client work, which is driving me crazy, but I wanted to at least play with it here. I don't know how you guys build Serpens. I can't even make something rotate. I can okay, let me rephrase that. I can get it to rotate, but I can't get it to rotate when multiple things are selected in edit mode. I'm working on a script that handles matrices. I just don't know them that well. But I'm going to try running it in this, and we'll see how well it works. Okay, so let me pull my script out of this blend file over here. And I've got some import stuff in it, so the import stuff should go into register, right?
The import stuff should stay where it is because it's it's importing at a top level, I guess. But if you have a register function or unregister function, that should be added to the Serpens register and unregister functions.
Oh, I don't have any of that in my script, but I can totally we can totally add it for fun.
Yeah, I don't know if that's working. Yeah, if that's working. I think right now it's just like the generated code won't look great. Like it won't look like it's working because it's basically having to. Okay, let me start it over. Because we want you to be able to edit the script and it should update right away. We can't have you like click a button to reload that script. So what we're basically doing is we're loading the script inside the code. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like for let's say you have an interface script and you're editing the code in a separate file and you save that file, then it should update right away. You shouldn't have to go into the node editor and like click a thing to get it to update.
Okay.
So we're basically opening that file inside the generated code and then loading the code and like taking it apart and so on. So the development code will look different from the actual exported code.
Well, Freak, I want to test this then, because I haven't done it in external editors yet. I should be able to make a new file here and then run that script. New untitled file. Language. File, save as. Just save this to, just save it here. Do I have to say this is a Python file, or does it automatically do it?
It should do it automatically.
Okay. All right. I've got the file here, and then just Control S. Should be able to and I need, let's see, I need to get back to my, where am I using this on? Add to panel.
I don't think it's on an operator. Something.
I need to add it to one, yeah. Just gonna get to, there we go. Let's do it here. Beta testing's getting messy. A custom, and I need a button tied to this function. I guess I want to, actually, you know what? I want to do this on another graph, just to test on the other graph. I should be able to access that button here. Am I generating errors? Python script failed. Hold on 1 second, Joshua. Okay, I'm back. Get rid of this stuff on my panel just to have the one button.
Could you actually? No, actually, just maybe check the code, the generated code in line
Let's
207.
Serpens code log. File read, split def
okay.
register, split def on register.
Yeah, so that's an. Yeah, that's because you don't have a register and unregister function. So yeah, I have to look over the run script node again, but it should be if you just add an empty register or like just put pass in it.
Is it capital R? I can't remember.
No, lowercase, just def register.
And then a def on register.
Yeah, and just like pass inside the function.
Alright, so save this file. And do I have to recompile now? With shift R?
Not sure. Yeah, or just disconnect and reconnect. I mean, I don't think you. Yeah.
I got a button now. I got a button now. Hey, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think you saw old arrows. Yeah.
Let's try. Okay. See if I can. I need to turn on my 3D cursor real quick to test my code that's terrible. Okay, so if I get my 3D cursor a rotation, let's go into Z of 45. And I want to push that button. Okay, well, at least the script is running. That's good.
Yeah, so if you go into the script and like just update it now.
I need some. Oh, go in my script and update it.
Yeah, like just add a print or something to see that it's changing.
I'll print it at the beginning, that way I know. If I push the button again, it should print to my
should
console.
show the print.
It's there.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, so you don't need to like recompile anything or that kind of stuff. You just need to work on your script, go back to Blender, press the button again, and it just works.
Yeah.
Um,
This is something of mine. I need to add a couple of properties into my script that aren't here. But the script is running, so that's good.
that's good, yeah.
And I'm doing it past 8 if statements.
I think there's a function name. Yeah, that was the one you tried earlier. Okay, yeah, got it.
Yeah, it seems to be working okay. And I did the operator on a different node tree, calling that function on the other node tree, and then I went back to this node tree and called the operator from that node tree. So
yeah, good. Yeah, and same thing should work for interface scripts as well. So like you can update your interface live, but I don't know if anyone's writing interface scripts.
Oh,
Because interfaces are.
yeah, I know that I write them.
Oh, there you go.
I write them when I can't get something to work in Serpens, or I don't know how to make it work in Serpens.
Yeah, so those update live as well.
That's cool. So how is it? Is it just checking, like, what's happening on the back?
Yeah, it's not it's not nice, but it's that's the reason why we're only doing it while you're developing, and then on export we're actually taking the code and putting it in the right place. But yeah, so I guess you can, if you go into the script, you can see it. So in like the register or.
Hey, look at that! That's awesome.
Yeah, so there you go. At the end of that if-else arrow, I guess in the middle of that, you have this if the path exists, and then we're opening the file. Yeah, and then we're taking that file and just executing it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not great, especially in the interface actually, because it's like opening the file every time the UI is drawn. But I mean, yeah, it works. And it's, like I said, it's only doing development, and it shouldn't really impact anything. It's just not how you would write it. And then on export, we're just actually loading the file and putting in the code here.
So when I export the add-on, this part here gets replaced with all of the script that was located here?
Yep, exactly.
Oh, okay. So then the script file becomes part of the exported code. It's not a separate file at that point.
Yeah, it's just the same file.
Okay.
In here.
Cool. Well, Joshua, I think we'll call it quits for today. Had some fun testing. Thanks for stopping by again.
Sure, definitely.
So far, things are coming along. I did get some questions from one of the users about snippets, and I said I don't think they're finished yet.
They're not. No, there's a node, but it's not done yet. Yeah, I think you can actually load a snippet, but it's not running any code yet. The preferences are done actually. So that's back, and it should also. So if you click the get snippets button,
this will go to the preferences, and I have to click exit. There we go.
Yeah. So yeah, you can load these now.
Oh, does it load the old ones?
Yep, and it should also tells you that they are old ones. So it says Serpens 2 on them, and you can filter at the top to only show ones from Serpens 3. So there aren't any ones yet, but yeah.
So let's see. Just opened a web page, I think. Maybe. Did I open a web page? Let's see. Let's try that again. Oh, it's downloading it. I'm sorry. I added the file directly. So now that I have it, I can install it.
Yeah, so there's no install for like multiple snippets yet. There's just the snippets node where you can add one.
I have to install the snippet first, though, right?
Yeah, no, that's not done yet.
Oh, this part's not done.
Yeah, but if you add the snippet node, so there's a node called snippet.
Oh, that's right. I remember that this changed. We talked about this.
I think this was actually the same before. It's just and it says work in progress because it's not. It doesn't actually do anything, but you should be able to load the snippet and it should show the outputs. Yeah. So there's no code being generated from this node, like it.
Okay, so it's not. Anything. It won't do anything when I try to use it, but it is at least loading things. Like this is part of my code.
Yeah, it's loading the outputs and inputs, and yeah, we're having to do some checks for making sure that old ones work, and there will probably be some edge cases that we'll stumble upon later when people are using their own snippets, which are not on the marketplace.
Sure.
But yeah, so yeah, but we basically still have to add back the code generation, and then exporting your own snippets, and then installing multiple and showing them in the menu as it was before. Yeah, but snippets should work from Serpens 2 and new ones as well.
I think there's had like a really big node one. I want to see how far it loads. They're testing. Yeah, Uber node. I think it's this one. Add node snippet. Oh, it's thinking. This is a really big function. I remember.
It might be stuck somewhere then. Like it really shouldn't take that long. Yeah, no, it might be hung up somewhere. Wouldn't really know where, but
I think I had my editor or my let me try that again. Let's try that again. Add node. Well, that's kind of cool. Made two of them. Let's try that again. I'm playing with things that you're not done with, Joshua.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do testing. Okay, well.
Oh, there's probably an error because of some input type. If it's only loading the one. Yeah, enum. Yeah, the enum subtype. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so subtypes aren't done.
Okay.
Because we have a lot less subtypes for inputs than we had before.
Okay.
We just have more socket types now. Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. I'm playing with things you're not done with.
I might want that snippet though. Is it in the marketplace? Can I just download it there? Or?
That one that's like it's in the experts channel where I showed you guys I was working on I was doing testing on like functions within snippets and properties within the snippet as well, or variables within the snippet. And then I got some client work and I didn't pick it back up. I was like, oh man, my attention's divided too much.
Yeah, but maybe you can just like send that back in, the file you just selected here, so you can. If that works, then hopefully a lot of snippets will work, I guess.
Yeah, I'll pull it up and that'll be my to-do for you. Is I'll go find that file and generate that snippet in version 2, and verify it's the one I want to send you. And that should be the one that should be like the Uber use case. People are crazy and they want to make snippets like me.
Right.
And can we make it work, or do we want to abandon making that part work and you just have to make a new one, you know?
Yeah.
Yep, I can send that to you. That's not a big deal.
Nice.
Cool, man.
Yeah. So yeah, snippets will work, packages won't. But there's not too many packages yet, so.
Yeah, I mean, I only made one just to teach myself how to do it, but
yeah.
I see use case for making them. I just it's the time of figuring out
Right.
when I want to make one.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big task. Yeah.
Cool. Well, is there anything else you wanted me to try testing before I call it quits for the day?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we covered quite a lot last time. I don't know what you went over in the beginning. If you did anything else there?
I think I just did. Let's see. I covered most of it in the chat already. I did the display circles, display icons. Interface functions work fine. They work across multiple graphs and multiple UIs. Printing was really cool. I had to learn about the way that printing works now. Custom function names. That was more of just me getting used to. I really like how you change it here, and now it shows up here. Because that wasn't last time we did this last week. You had to come up to the actual node, I think, to change it here, right?
Yeah, on the operators at least. I don't know if it was the same with the functions. I don't.
Operators. I think everything works now. So when I go to my operator,
hopefully,
I change this to operator BS. And it should update here on the button.
Yep.
And it's updating based upon the name, which that's perfect. Oh, what is this? That's me getting the operator name for my operator, so I can put it in something like this.
Yeah, it will just copy
or into a script.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to my sweet. So if I use that in a script, it would automatically call that operator as a run, like it would say run that operator.
It's just basically the name, so you'd have to do bpy.ops. And then this part, and then brackets at the end, and that's it.
I hit the wrong key on my keyboard. It would be like this guy, right?
Yep.
And then like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I had properties, I would start filling in information like an operator, right?
Yeah, and you can, I think you can copy the property names on the operator node. So if you add properties on the node, there should be a copy button next to it. And then you could use that to, in here. And just get rid of the placeholder in this case.
Because it's already lives within it, right? It's local.
Yeah.
Cool. I think these all update their name. Cool. Sweet. I like it. I haven't played with the properties yet. I did play with the pop-up. I got the confirm pop-up to work properly. I haven't done the executing before pop-up much. So I've got a few more things that I want to test on my bucket list, but I imagine they all work.
Yeah, I mean, those are basically the same as before. Just invoke socket is now called before pop-up to make it a bit more clear, but other than that, it should be pretty much the same.
So I want to say, I swear I've touched on this topic before. The before pop-up only runs, it'll run, but the execute should wait until after the pop-up is ran. Is that correct?
Yeah, so some so pop-ups, like the different types of pop-ups do different things. So confirm only runs the execute output if you confirm it. Pop-up, I think, might have a button on it, like an OK button. I guess you can, if you do like F3 and just search for the operator. So operator BS, I guess. Yeah, so this one will run when you click the OK button. Then there's like the other types will do different things as well. I think there's one that updates. Then there's one with enums or something. Yeah, like property update will run the operator every time you update one of your properties in the pop-up. So like when you have a string property showing in the pop-up, then you change the text. And then it will run the operator. Yeah, and I think the search is for an enum. So if you have an enum property, and then it will show the items, and you can select one of them, and then it will run the execute output.
How do I get these properties?
You just have to add a node. There's no button.
There's no button on this. Are
Yeah,
you
so
gonna?
just
Is that on the to-do list, or that's just not part of Serpens 3 anymore?
I mean, I guess we can probably add it back. Yeah, I mean, at some point we'll just have to get it out.
Oh, sure, yeah,
and
yeah.
add the stuff later. So
That's fine.
yeah.
I should be able to. I think I can copy this and do a get property.
No, you need a Serpens property node. Yeah.
I keep forgetting the names. Serpens property. Then
yeah, then this is where you change it to node, because now you're not using an add-on property, but one from a node.
now when I run that property, when I update this to anything, it should run that code, right?
Yep.
Oh, I crashed.
So
maybe do we want to test that real quick on something less complex?
Yeah, if you want to just maybe a print after the.
Sure, yeah, we can do a simple print.
Yeah,
that was pretty fun. I got my first crash. It might have been my code though. I mean, who's to say?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see how just the operator code could crash it.
Let's add in a panel. So we got a new panel. Let's add in a button. Change it to custom. Let's add in an operator. I want to repeat doing the operator on a different tree. Do print on before pop-up and do a print on execute. I'll do the middle one. Oh yeah, I don't need a copy. I can grab it right from here. Let's give it a default name of type here. And then I want a display property. Okay, and that should just be enough once I set it, right?
Yeah.
Do I need to turn on anything to capture the crash beforehand? I forget.
No, maybe just save. So actually, I can replicate it fairly quickly.
Sure, yeah,
if this
yeah.
crashes, so.
Let's give it. Well, that's kind of funky. Oh, I got all my properties on here.
Yeah, it shows you all the properties as inputs on the button node.
So if I were to put something here, let's just say, let me just try the button first. Enter something. I should have gotten a print, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so clear this. Let's look at the pop and the exe. So it should run both on a property update. Let me go back.
If you just click the button and then don't enter anything.
Yeah.
It should just show the pop and not the exe.
Because I think if I click on the button and I don't do anything, I'm getting both.
Ah, okay. Um,
I don't know if that's Blender default behavior, but that's pretty similar to Serpens 2, I think. Whenever I was using a property update, it was doing both.
okay. Yeah, maybe it's because it's just updating with the default, but I guess you could like check for that. So if you just plug the value output of the property node down there into the print as well, yeah, you should be able to see what the value is at that point. Yeah, so it's still empty.
Let me, should have a default value, right?
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, what did you set on the button?
On the button, I have, let me go back.
Oh,
I have to hide
you're
these,
overwriting
right?
it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hide these and then push the button. Okay. But it is still running even when I'm not doing stuff. Hey, look at that. The print node's updated. Okay. So it's still running both even though I haven't done anything. I don't know if, I mean, is that a bug or is that expected behavior?
Probably just expected.
Okay.
Like if the property update pop-up type works this way, then it just does, I guess. Yeah, I don't really use it, so I don't know if that's the default, but I'll check to make sure that it's not on our side. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just default.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna do hidden on this one just to see if it doesn't show up. That one shouldn't show up anymore, right?
Yeah. Yes, it shouldn't. Huh. Okay, yeah, I'll look at that as well.
Yeah. Let me hide them all. Let's hide them all. Guess while I'm testing my button. Yeah, so hiding needs to be just a quick look to see if there's something causing that.
Yeah, can you maybe just rename the operator? Oh, that doesn't update. That's good to know.
Oh, that's good to know. Here we go. We're finding more things. The last minute, I'm saying goodbye, and then we find more stuff. It's great. And then does it up? It should update back on the other graph, though. Yeah, it updated here. Okay.
Yeah, it's just that node.
Just that node. All right, so operator 2 is definitely still showing.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
interesting. I lost my default value. Go back. Oh, it updated this. Okay. Let me test that again. Okay, default value is still there. But it is not getting the hidden. Okay. Do you want me to delete the operator and do a new one, or?
No, that's fine. I'll just check it, but it should. I guess we're probably just not putting the options in there. I mean, if you want to, you can turn on the code, debug code on the nodes to see if it's in there. Yeah, so where it says SNA new property, yeah, there's no options in here. There should be something saying options hidden, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I guess it still continues the second one actually. Yeah, the O2. It's getting cut off at the end at max length. Oh, yeah, no, still not there. Okay, so we still need to add the options in here.
Yep. Cool. The operator does seem to work when I do, let me turn this off. When I do confirm and I push it It won't run the other one. It just does the pop. And then pop up, I think this one does do both. This is more for me understanding. I keep forgetting when one does one and one does the other. Oh no, that one just runs the pop as well. Thought that would have.
Yeah, I guess the ones that actually have a button to confirm. Yeah, those probably only run it afterwards.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I would think that property update would only want to run when the property updates, though. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, I guess maybe the default is also a reason for it to update. I guess maybe it's because it's a button and like you can put in a value into the button. But
I mean, I guess what I could
updates once.
I mean, the way to handle that, I mean, from my end, is I could always just get the property and reference the. Can you get the default value?
No. Just have to, check for the same string, I guess.
Or I could make like a temporary variable or something and check for the same string, basically. Basically check to see if it's changed. If it's changed, then go ahead and execute. If it hasn't, then...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could make an integer variable or something and check if it's if it ran more than once.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Something like that would work.
Something to stop the execute until you actually want it to happen.
Yep.
Easily overcomable, in my opinion. Cool. Hey, look at that. You've even renamed some of these things to disable. It's user-friendly.
Yeah, it's a bit more, a bit better than poll.
Yep.
But yeah.
I think you still, false and true. Yeah, this is so cool. Cool, man. I would say we're good. We're good to stop the stream, and thanks for coming by again. It's always fun to pick your brain when I'm beta testing too. Like killing two birds with one stone.
Always.
So I'll post this on YouTube, and then if you have another beta that you want us to test, I can do another one, I think, next Saturday. Or if we're looking for a release soon, we can always release and have people report bugs.
Yeah, so maybe we'll do like a release candidate stream or something.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Get Steven Scott in here and Calypsy.
Sure. Yeah, the list is getting shorter. Of course, it got longer again today, but...
Stop beta testing, Sean.
Nah, otherwise this will come up on the line and it will... Yeah, this is definitely better, so yeah, thanks for doing it, definitely.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming by and helping me out. I'm learning stuff too.
Yeah.
It's always good to learn the new way of Serpens. It's definitely... my brain keeps going back to the old way every time I look at these nodes, because I've been playing with Serpens 2 all week. So I have to like retrain myself. Okay, this is not how Serpens 3 works. Yeah, I mean, code is code. You get used to it.
Right. I spend a lot of time with the new stuff now, so like it's good to see the speed at which I can like build a collection property, put it into a list, and all that stuff. Like what we did last time, it's like if you know the steps, then it's very fast, and I think it's better that way than it was in Serpens 2.
Yep.
So I think it's a matter of time until it would just be faster to work with.
Yep, I'm excited to start recording some of the videos on some of the things I've learned here. I go back and watch myself, and then I want to do that UI list as a recording. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, I did the add-on you built last time is a pretty great use case.
Yeah, it has it has infinite number of possibilities of things you want to make into a list, and the structure is the same about 90% of the way. And what you do at the end is like the fun part. So cool, man. Well, I'm gonna call it quits, and we'll catch you on the next one if you're around.
Awesome.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.